Eric, how's it going? Nice hat.
Thank you. I love this hat. I highly recommend you get one.
I feel like I should ask a spicy question. Does this mean you run Bitcoin Core?
I do. Yeah.
Uh,
I run core. I'm a core enjoyer.
and Core enjoyer. Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. What are you? So what's up? We're hanging out in Riga. We're here for Baltic Honey Badger. How have you been enjoying the conference so far?
Loving it. This was a good year because we had a Bitcoin plus plus privacy edition
It's true. We did. Yeah.
right before Baltic Honey Badger. Very timely as well with the kind of stuff in the news regarding some of the privacy services and stuff out there. So
Yeah, that's a tough one. I
right.
feel like right before we did our conference in May in Austin, which was really fun. I feel like there was a lot of controversy going into that one, but it had a little bit more of maybe a
Mm-hmm.
festive feel to
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. It was kind of
Like people were debating spiritedly about
sure.
like
Sure.
trade-offs in terms of like mempool relay policies, right? But
Mm-hmm.
this one I felt like it felt a little muted. Like there's some heavy news about privacy
Yeah,
coming out,
it
right?
was a bit more grim and a bit more dire.
It felt grim. I
Yeah,
mean, it was a great conference, don't get me wrong,
right.
but I definitely felt like it didn't have quite the same energy level
Yeah, yeah,
of
100%.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were your? So you work on. So maybe we could introduce you. You're Erik Cativo.
Yep.
Did I say that? Hopefully I
Hmm.
said that. Okay. You work on UX in the Bitcoin space, but
Right.
specifically, we met last year in Berlin because you were very excited about working on eCash
That's right.
as a design problem.
Yeah.
It's been that was in October. It's almost been. I guess it's been 10 months now
Right. Yeah,
since
time
we hung
flies.
out.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. Where's your journey been since then? Are you working on design stuff in Cashew, or like
Yeah.
what's your current
So
situation?
since then, I've continued to remain kind of very much laser focused on eCash. So I do product design, which is kind of all encompassing kind of design of different cashew software. So thinking about kind of how the end user experiences it and how the regular person would interact with these tools, and not just always in the most positive, like smooth scenario, but how do they interact when things go wrong? How do they find support for these issues and things of that like kind of umbrella? So I'm focused very much on Cashew, which is one of the two main eCash implementations. There's Cashew and Fediment.
Right.
So I'm focused kind of predominantly on the Cashew side. And since we last saw each other in the last 10 months, I've worked on a bunch of stuff. In Cashew space, a month is an eternity. So
Cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Seems like it's moving really fast. So you mentioned there's two different implementations of
Hmm.
eCash. One's Cashew, which is I think kind of at its helm. Calais is kind of like the Pied Piper of Cashew,
Sure.
leading the charge. He did the first implementation of the protocol. You're working on that side. The other one is Fediment, which is
Hmm.
more of a federated model for eCash. What made you pick? I mean, since you're mostly focused on Cashew as a protocol as opposed to eCash generally, why Cashew as an option?
Yeah. So I guess it was just it's what my friends were working on. I mean, if I'm
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
give the honest
social
answer,
proof or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
like my friends were working on it, and I wanted to just hang out with my friends and build software,
That's
and
legit.
that's yeah,
Yeah,
that's like the dream, to
definitely.
just ship with your friends. So that was it. But I also think there's an element of simplicity to it because I come from a non-technical background,
Okay,
and I'm not a developer. I'm shipping a little bit more code now with AI tools.
cool.
But a couple years ago, when I
Talk
first
about
started
that.
contributing to Cashew, I was not very technical, and if you're a non-technical person, I think that Cashew is a lot easier to grok because it's very similar to custodial systems that already exist. At least from a product and user experience point of view, you
Mm.
have this custodial Lightning Wallet experience. And in Fediment, you have that as well, but there's kind of this extra level of complexity where control over the federation is controlled by three different entities in this federated kind of custody model. So for me, it was just a little bit more complex. So I really enjoyed, I guess, the simplicity of Cashew. And I think when I talk to developers, this kind of simplicity in the code base is something that they're very attracted to as well.
I heard
So
that.
it's attractive for people that just want to jump in and just get started.
And it sounds like you definitely got started. Yeah.
I definitely got started. I mean, I sometimes I look back at all the the stuff that I've worked on, and I look at the cashew ecosystem, and I realize like I've actually touched almost every single cashew product
That's
out
cool.
there in some ways,
Yeah.
and in some ways some of my contributions aren't there anymore. Like in I had a contribution for mini bits on how you display currencies, and that's kind of been changed, so maybe that UI
Mm.
isn't there anymore. But yeah, throughout the entire cashew ecosystem, I've touched a little bit of everything just from a design point of view.
Is there anything that you like you feel really proud of? You're like that was a difficult design challenge.
Yeah, I would say viewing mint information on cashew.me, the version that exists now. So for anyone out there that uses cashew.me, and if you don't use it, you can just go on your web browser, type in cashew.me. It's a progressive web app, so you can have a cashew wallet on your browser. But when you connect to a mint on cashew.me and you go to the mints tab and you navigate through the different mints, I updated the UI for how that looks like when you select different mints, and then when you view the mint details and you see the mint information and the relevant kind of mint info and the visual hierarchy for like how that's displayed and what is retracted and expanded, and that was something I think I'm quite proud of, especially if you saw what they had before. Well, I don't know if some people will remember that, but it was just like a giant QR code and then like some text at the bottom. So now we actually have a nice like skimmable,
Summary of
yeah,
mints kind of thing.
of mint information, and
Because
yeah.
that's, I mean, that's one thing that makes Cashew as a protocol more complicated is this idea. Oh, I ran into this yesterday. Were
Mm-hmm.
you around when I was trying to use Cashew last night?
Tollgate, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to use Tollgate, which you have to pay for with eCash,
that's right,
Cashew
yeah.
specifically. And I was having a lot of fun, maybe I should say, of like trying to get my cash in the same place. But one of the issues I ran into is I had a balance in Cashew, but my balance was on the mint for Chorus,
Right.
which is has like a community mint or something. And the mint that the toll gate I wanted to use to buy internet was a different
Yeah, different mint.
mint.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to transfer my tokens from one mint to the next, and it took a long time to figure out the right UI to like send it between the things. I still gotta go. I gotta go figure out where I tried to send $5 to myself, and I don't know where it went. I gotta go find
Oh
it.
yeah, you still have to hunt that money down. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta hunt some money down and stuff. So these mint problems is quite complicated. Yeah. Um, what like so? It sounds like you've solved that for Cashew.me. Is that an online wallet?
Solved. We made progress.
Made some progress.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I think like when you try to do the mint swap in macadamia,
Yeah.
that was a little bit of a more kind of
Well, it
pleasant
works well.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was trying to use community or the core. I keep calling it community. I was trying to
yeah,
use the Chorus app to change between it and having problems. So eventually, I just switched to a different wallet,
right.
Macadamia, and OS. So that worked out really well. If someone's wanting to get started and like using Cashew today, is there a particular wallet that you suggest people use or like send them to?
Yeah, I do. So it depends on what device you're using. If you're using an Android or iPhone.
Okay.
So if you're using Android, I would recommend Minibits as a wallet that you can download and get started. Fully, both of these wallets in the Cashew protocol, I guess in general, is fully interoperable with Lightning. So you take Bitcoin on Lightning and then you deposit it or you put it into your Minibits wallet on Android, and then you can unlock the eCash special powers, the abilities to use eCash, like generating a token string and do all the fun stuff with eCash.
Yeah.
If you're on iOS, I recommend Macadamia. It's built using Swift, which allows the developer has done a really good job of kind of having these really beautiful micro animations and these really kind of beautiful fluid feel to the app that is easily accomplished using Swift because it's Apple's like native programming language. So I think Macadamia is a really pleasant, kind of beautiful, minimal user experience for iOS people.
I used it for the first time yesterday. It was great. It worked great. It did all the things. I was very
Yeah,
happy.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice. And it's not as full featured as Minibits. Minibits is very much kind of like a power user app, but it does
Okay.
abstract a lot of the complexity and the advanced settings. So I think if you use a Bitcoin Lightning wallet, you're going to be pretty comfortable with Minibits. You're not going to be lost with it. But Macadamia is very much put it this way: there's a lot of feature requests
Okay.
that
Still
aren't
from
yet on
Macadamia. Got
Macadamia,
it.
and
Looks
I think
like
there's a certain beauty in the
maybe
simplicity of
it's.
Macadamia for that
It's
reason.
yeah, it was really great. I really liked it. Let me buy some internet with eCash.
Yeah,
It was
that
really
was
cool.
fun. You were a very patient user.
I was having a good time, it's
Yeah.
for sure. So it sounds so you've worked. You're really proud of the work that you guys did in Cashew.me, which is a web wallet,
Hmm.
on how it displays and shows emit stuff. Is there a project you're working on now that you're excited about? Like, what's
Yes.
going on for Erik currently?
Yeah. So right now, I'm kind of heads down on working with a developer called D4 on the BTC Pay Server Cashew plugin,
Oh,
which
cool.
will allow merchants to start accepting Cashew.
That's big.
So that's yeah, that's big and it's powerful, and there's kind of a lot of complexity in there because
Mm.
with BTC Pay Server, for example, one of the problems that we're kind of having to think through is what if they have a BTC Pay Server and they take on chain, but they don't have a Lightning node set up,
Oh,
and that now they want to receive eCash. Well, they could do that, but now there's the question of
you need a gateway, right? Like a
no,
lightning gateway, you can swap your notes through,
not
or
yeah, that's one approach, but another approach is just to have them have a whitelist of mints. I will only accept
oh,
eCash from this mint that I trust, and then they're basically
oh,
accepting eCash, but they're just storing the eCash tokens
got
and then
it.
redeeming them later. But we have to kind of carefully think through like the risks associated with that.
So
Uh,
if the other thing is if they have a lightning node, you can just immediately pay them in lightning, like cash it to lightning.
yeah, so
Got
that's another
it.
option. If they have a Lightning node, then they can decide: do I want to just accept Cashew and then automatically melt it
So you don't
into
have
my
to
Lightning
hold
node,
it as
so I don't have to
eCash.
hold it as eCash? I'm just kind of taking these Cashew tokens and melting them immediately. Or do you want to do something where you accept the eCash tokens only from certain mints, or you accept them and then you convert all those tokens into uh,
On
tokens on it
chain, it's
on
something.
your own mint, or yeah, or
Oh, you meant, yeah.
yeah.
Because one of the challenges with Cashew is that, unlike Fedimint, which uses a federation, even then you still have like custodial risk, right?
Hmm.
Basically, Cashew tends to be one person's running a mint, and you have tokens, but that means they're holding the Bitcoin. So
Right.
as a vendor, one of the trade-offs we're really talking about here is like, do you want to hold on? Do you want to have someone else custodying the Bitcoin while you hold the eCash tokens, or how do you transfer that to self-custodian? At what point in the timeline? How long are you holding on to the tokens for? Yeah,
Yeah, and especially complex if they're on chain only.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, because we were thinking about on the back end doing something like using like a bolt swap or something, where
right.
the
Yeah,
moment that they receive the eCash token,
exactly. Yeah.
it does this like bolt swap melt into on chain in the background.
But then, like, it's expensive because you have an on-chain transaction every time, right? So you want to batch it. Just kind of how Lightning like helps batch transactions, right? But now it's like, okay, how do you build batching into the eCash protocol and BTC Pay or whatever?
Right, right. So do you want to have it after a certain amount
Right.
of eCash or whatever
So that's
automatically
a
melts?
yeah, that's a user experience. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of complexity to that, and then you also have to think about how do you explain this to the merchant, right?
right,
In all these different options and different
right.
scenarios. So we're still very much in kind of the wireframing kind of flowchart stages of it.
Cool,
But I have some ideas. As soon as I get home, I'm really excited to jump in on that.
cool, very cool. Is there anything else you're excited about seeing while in Eureka at Baltic Honey Badger before you head home?
Let's see. I think we're wrapping it up towards the end of the day, so
Yeah.
I kind of saw most of what I wanted to see. I would say that one thing that I kind of learned about recently that I'm quite excited about is Plan B's like educational platform.
Yeah, it's really
And
cool.
it is really cool. They have this really beautiful platform with all these different courses that are Bitcoin related, and
Yep.
they've mapped it out nicely into this almost like Duolingo type flow. Where
Yeah.
you have like a course with like a progress bar, and there's a quiz at the end, and then you can get points or whatever and see your
They're trying to build like 200 courses, I think, like a whole university experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's good.
it's really nice, and I was kind of going to some workshops and lectures and seeing that kind of tool in the wild, and I realized there's no eCash stuff on there. So when I
Okay.
get home, I'm thinking about opening some PRs and putting
eCash content.
some eCash educational content on there. But yeah, I was just really optimistic with the Plan B educational stuff.
It's really impressive. Yeah. We have a reporter for Bitcoin Plus for the Insider Edition who came from one of their Plan B like programs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in person in Lugano. But yeah, it's a great program. Some really great people going through it. So
Yeah,
cool.
love it.
Well, very excited to hear follow along with your UX journeys into further stuff that you build up for Cashew. And when you get those up on Plan B, let us know, and maybe we can let subscribers know about
Oh, 100%.
yeah new classes that they can take with Cashew. Any final words or things that you want people to follow, where they can find you, like keep up with what's happening in Cashew?
If you want to follow, I'm on the Nostra protocol, primal.net/Erik.
With a K, right?
Yeah, Erik with a K.
Yeah.
There's a couple Eriks in eCash. So I'm Erik with a K. Twitter, I'm UX Erik underscore. And if you have some extra sats laying around, I would recommend you donate to the P2P Rights Fund. I don't have the website off the top of my head. I think it's b2prights.org, but if not, just Google like P2P Rights Fund. They're doing like a lot of really good like legal work in defending developers who are working on privacy tools and things of that nature. So I think supporting them right now is very, very important.
Cool. Thanks, Eric.
All right.
Cool.